This hearing starts with routine procedural issues, but the underlying reality is anything but routine.
I'm letting Miss Bobbitt enter into the room. Good morning, Miss Bobbitt.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you this morning?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing fine.
I think we are ready to take up the conservatorships that you have, and one of them, the first one on the docket is In re Betty Jean Williams. And I think
Okay.
I signed the order appointing a temporary conservator.
You didn't. I believe that is Claire Dunkley, Your Honor. I think she is also supposed to be on Zoom, as well as Leslie Wright being the attorney ad litem. They may be in the waiting room.
I'm admitting everyone into
Okay.
well, several people who will.
Perfect.
All right, Miss Leslie Wright, I'm going to ask her to unmute and start her video.
Can you hear me, Your Honor?
I can hear you, I guess.
I'm having technical difficulties on my internet this morning.
Well, I can relate to that. So.
I apologize. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Was there anyone besides Ms. Wright that we needed to have in this hearing?
I believe Claire Dunkley, who is on, she is the appointed emergency conservator. There she is.
We'll ask her to, all right, she just came in. All right.
Okay, perfect. All right, Your Honor. So this is the emergency conservatorship for Betty Williams. This is the more egregious of the two that we have filed. She is a resident at NHC Dixon, and she's actually a longtime resident of Dixon County, Tennessee, and she's been admitted. She has Alzheimer's, adjustment disorder, malnutrition, and just kind of failure to thrive. She's been there for quite a while, and upon her admittance, she had a power of attorney, which is the granddaughter, Tanya Haplin. She has since kind of disappeared, so the facility's not been able to reach her. The bill's not being paid. She has medical issues that need to be attended to, and they can't reach her. So they decided to do a wellness check on their own, and when they did that, it showed that the house has been abandoned. There's dogs that are in the house. One had passed away from malnutrition. The house has been absolutely trashed. And upon the appointment of Ms. Dunkley as the emergency conservatorship, we've been able to locate, at least Ms. Halpin has taken at least $300,000 from Mrs. Williams in the last 6 months. So we have been able to secure that bank account since we filed this immediate emergency petition. So we're just asking the court just to let us finish this out for the 60-day process to try to figure out what's going on. She needs a decision maker. Ms. Dunkley is an appropriate party to serve. We have a physician's report from Dr. Saw that has been filed with the original petition. We're asking the court to admit that into evidence. And I do not think that there's any opposition or defense to this appointment.
I have reviewed the physician's report. We'll have it marked as Exhibit 1, and we'll keep it under seal. Ms. Wright, I know you're not able to come on camera, but can you hear everything okay?
Yes, I can, Your Honor, and that's all correct, and it's very much appropriate for there to be an emergency fiduciary in place.
As far as Ms. Dunkley, let's go ahead and ask Ms. Dunkley if you'll unmute your device. Let me go ahead and place you under oath. I know you're an attorney, but we're going to go ahead and ask you to be placed under oath. So if you'll let me place you under oath. You raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this case to be the truth, nothing but the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Bobbitt, why don't you go ahead and, for the record, put on whatever proof through Ms. Dunkley about the facts that you've recited so that we have a record that's made of evidence.
Sure, Your Honor. First, I can ask to Ms. Dunkley, are you, obviously you're statutory qualified, you've not been convicted of any felonies or misdemeanors, correct?
That's correct.
You've not filed bankruptcy, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And have you had a chance to review the petition that NHC Dixon filed with regard to Ms. Williams? Have you been able to meet with Ms. Williams at your appointment, and what was that meeting like?
I have met with her. She seems to generally know what's going on, but not in its entirety. And she is very frail. And so it was clear from my meeting that she definitely needs help.
Okay. And also, have you had a chance to look at the bank records that you were able to obtain from Pinnacle Bank?
Yes, Pinnacle has been incredibly helpful and very proactive with securing her bank account.
Okay. And can you just, tell the court a little bit about what you saw in those bank account records and who the bank said withdrew the money?
Of note, most recently, since the power of attorney was revoked, Ms. Halpin had taken out 2 more withdrawals within the last few weeks. One of which was to pay, I believe, a medical bill that had her name in the memo line on this statement, and the other one was for a car payment that Miss Williams did not purchase that vehicle, to my knowledge. So the bank has been proactive with disputing that transaction and working on getting her money back, but we have eyes on the account to prevent that from happening again.
Okay. And could you tell that there have been numerous withdrawals over the last 6 months?
Yes.
Okay. And can you give the court a little estimation about the total value of those withdrawals?
About 300,000.
And who was the source of those withdrawals?
Ms. Halpin.
Okay. And did it look like any of those expenditures, the 300,000, was any of that related to Miss Williams or her care?
This portion marks the hearing's most explosive factual development. A figure approaching $300,000 instantly changes how everyone views the situation. Large withdrawals alone would raise questions.
No.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Wright, do you have any questions? She may have left our hearing.
Nope, I'm here. I'm still here, just not able to work any of my devices this morning. I have no questions, Your Honor.
All right. I find that there is a justifiable need for the extension and making this a permanent conservatorship. And Ms. Dunkley, are you willing to continue to serve in that capacity?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Secondly, there are a few things that are more reprehensible than someone who takes advantage of a person that is disabled and elderly and takes things that don't belong to them. I've had some of that in my own family, and as a result of that, I will order that Ms. Dunkley or Ms. Bobbitt, I want you to refer this matter to the District Attorney General's office for the 23rd Judicial District, because in my estimation, Ms. Halpin is guilty of felony theft. And I think that there's also an abuse of an elderly statute that she may be in violation of as well. And I think it's very appropriate for the matter to be referred to the District Attorney General's office for their investigation and determination whether charges should be brought against Ms. Halpin. It's probably the only way that there's any chance of recovering any of that money for Ms. Williams. So, all right.
We will do that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Bobbitt, you have the next case as well. So.
I do. This is the Pamela Duzak matter. This is also an NHC Dixon case. They brought this because there is no medical decision maker. She is in much need of medical attention, and she does have a brother. There's no spouse. There's no children. The brother has made it clear to the facility that he no longer wishes to be responsible for her nor any decision-making authority. So the courts the facility is asking the court to appoint an emergency conservator to address these immediate medical needs, and then also to further assist with the TennCare application that's going to be due for her.
All right. And our phantom attorney, Ms. Wright, is not able to be with us in person, but she's on here online.
I am, Your Honor.
All right. And you are willing to serve as the ex parte, I'm sorry, you're willing to serve as the conservator. I think you were appointed ex parte. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm more than willing to serve. And like Ms. Bobbitt said, the biggest thing is there will be some healthcare decisions made, but it's a matter of getting her approved for TennCare, and I'm already working on that process.
All right. Do we need to put on any proof regarding that? I don't know that there's anyone that can really testify about it because of the sworn petition sets out the basis along with the attorney's report. I'm sorry, the physician's report, and that physician's report was filed with the court May the 28th of 2026. I'm going to mark that as an exhibit to this hearing so that we have a record.
Yes, Your Honor, and I believe Ms. Dunkley had a chance to meet with Mrs. Dusak, so I don't believe there's any defense or opposition to this one either.
Ms. Wright, were you able to meet with her and anything you can share with the
Yeah.
court?
Yes, Your Honor, I don't believe that she's really able to understand or be able to put up a defense. I'm not sure that she really has one to begin with.
All right. That will be the judgment of the court. We'll
Okay,
go
thank you, Your
ahead.
Honor.
Ms. Wright as the permanent conservator.
And Your Honor, just a quick question. Do you want to go ahead and preset this for the final hearing, both of these last two cases, or do we need to just set that closer to the 60-day window?
How far down the road do you want to have it?
I think that we should do this before maybe mid-July. I think that would be within the 60-day window.
Well, I will be in Cheatham County in July.
Okay.
We could. The only thing we have is July 30th with Judge Lockhart Mash. Any reason that she couldn't hear this? I mean, this is just basically to make the permanent disposition, correct?
Correct.
Right. Well, let's set both of these cases that we've had for a permanent disposition hearing in front of Judge Lockhart Mash on July 30th.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Lauren Olivia McComb, come up, please. I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand and let the clerk place you under oath.
The final portion reveals how courts balance urgency with long-term oversight. Even after appointing conservators, the judge continues looking ahead to future review hearings. That reflects an important principle often overlooked by viewers. Conservatorships are not intended to operate without supervision. Judges want periodic opportunities to evaluate whether decisions remain appropriate and whether appointed fiduciaries are fulfilling their obligations. The scheduling discussion may seem administrative, but it represents one of the system's key safeguards. Oversight does not end once authority is granted. It continues through ongoing judicial review. By the time the hearing transitions away from the conservatorship matters, a clear pattern has emerged. The court has acted as both shield and referee, protecting vulnerable individuals while creating a structure designed to prevent neglect, exploitation, and decision-making paralysis from continuing unchecked.